Hello, Danza. It's Candle Maker here. I hope you're doing great today. Um, I just wanted to come online and do a live stream here today on reflecting on 2021 and also moving forward. We're almost at the end of the year here, and 2022 is going to be coming up here very shortly. And I just wanted to come on and share with you something that's been on my mind lately, especially with all the events in the world that are happening right now. Um, One of the things that I used to get told all the time growing up from elders, from teachers, people that were very important in our from our ancestors. They had a lot of knowledge from them, and they would often say that this day we've been given today, anut, that it's not for nothing. You woke up today, you have a purpose, and they would also go on to say that all of us we've been put here for a reason. There's a reason for our existence. You and I here today, all of us have a unique set of gifts, talents, abilities. And when you pair that with a chosen field of whatever you decide to do with your life, whether it's starting a business, going to apply for work, starting a project, whatever that might be, when you align your gifts with a chosen field and you're giving service to the world, you're helping making it a better place, that creates what some would say fulfillment. And when you're fulfilled in your life, when you're going through that feeling of you're helping this world get better, you're helping um, people with your business, you're helping people with your career and so on, you feel good about yourself. And so when you wake up, you enjoy doing what you're doing. And it's tough to stay in a chosen field when you don't have that feeling, when your gifts aren't aligned with your decision to take on a certain job, to take on a certain project. When you're it doesn't align with that, it's not fun anymore. And so I've been a lot of made a lot of decisions like that in the past, and I still do, where sometimes I take on something and it starts to not be fun after a while. And I look at those decisions and I say, man, I got to start making more decisions where it aligns with what I want to do. And so I wanted to come on today to ask you that, ask whoever's watching this, that ask yourself this question: is what I'm doing right now or what I'm planning to do in alignment with what I'm good at, what my gifts are, what I'm talented at, what I feel I've been put here to do while we're here on earth and so on. That's a question I think every person should ask themselves, is that as you're going about your life, your career, am I fulfilled? Am I using what I've been given in a good way? That to me is it creates happiness. It creates a feeling of prosperity for the people that you're serving, and so on. It's a good feeling. And I hope that everyone is moving forward into 2022, that you're able to align that with whatever chosen field that you're in, whether it's going to school, whether it's in university, starting a nonprofit, working for a company, starting a business, whatever that might be, politics, whatever that feeling, align it with fulfillment, whatever it is that you decide to do with your life, your career, and so on. I think that's very, very important. And I hope that everyone, as you're going about your path, that you take the time to reflect on this year, that you take the time to reflect on all the things that went well, but also all the things that you learned. There's a lot of teaching things that people often they miss out on. One of the things that I teach in my keynotes is that oftentimes when life presents challenges, obstacles, problems, what the majority of people do when an obstacle comes, a challenge, is that when it's presented to them, it's usually presented in a negative situation. It looks negative. And when they look at that challenge, they often tend to react to it. They say, "Oh my gosh, why me? Why is this happening now?" And so on. When the reality of that challenge, that problem, is that there's a teaching in there. There's a teaching moment. And oftentimes people stay in reaction mode, so they miss out on the teaching that is meant to open up a new door for them, that is meant to help them grow, that is meant to help them evolve, and so on. And so they miss out on that. And so they stay in that mode of reaction, reacting to all those things in their life. And so there's a challenge, there's a decision that you have to make. When there's a challenge in front of you, you have to take a step back. And this is the hardest thing, is you take a step back, you ask yourself, what am I meant to learn from this right now? What is this universe trying to teach me right now? What is creator trying to teach me? There's always a teaching moment in it. And again, oftentimes there's people out there that when they come into their lives, they get in reaction mode, and so they miss out on those teachings. So I hope that whoever is watching this or watches the replay of this, that you when a challenge comes in your life, there's a blessing in there. I can attribute everything in my career so far. When there was something good gonna happen, especially like a big thing, there was always like a challenge right before it, an obstacle, a problem, something that looked negative. And I can look up back on all those major things and attribute to why now it happened, because you have to almost train yourself to think, okay, now I know why that happened. Right. And that's why it's good to reflect on your year and look back on why things have happened in your life, your career. Why sometimes people, maybe you apply for a job, you didn't get hired. Maybe there's a reason for that. Right? Maybe it's okay to not get offended that you didn't get something, or you didn't qualify for something, or something didn't go in your favor. Maybe that's not meant for you. Maybe that's not part of your path. Right? Or maybe you didn't win a competition. Maybe that's not part of your path. Maybe there's something else that the creator, this universe, has in store for you. And you had to go through that so that you can grow into who you're meant to become. And that's, to me, is one of the greatest hidden secrets. It's not even a secret, but some people would view it like that. All of the greatest opportunities come in the form of challenges. Oftentimes, many of the greatest blessings come like that, where there are challenges, there's problems, there's obstacles, all that type of stuff. And so, um, I have a challenge for all of you, is that when they do come, and they will, every person goes through them, is that you view it in a way of responding as opposed to reacting. How are you going to respond to that? How are you going to respond to the challenges of what this past year has presented to you, but also 2022, right? We don't know what that year is going to bring, but many of you have overcome a lot of things, and you presented yourself as someone who has overcome. And so every time you overcome something, you grow. You grow from it. And so wouldn't it make sense that whatever goal that you have in the future, that there's going to be other obstacles so that you can get to that place? Every successful person I've met, leader, business person, and so on, hasn't had an easy path. They haven't had an easy path. It hasn't been what is that term? A walk in the park, right? It's been challenging. They've had to go through things. And so those happen to prepare the person for what they're meant to become, what they're meant to get into. And so wouldn't it make sense that in your life, when challenges do come, that maybe there is a teaching to help prepare you for what's to come? That, to me, it makes life more meaningful. And so I wanted to come online to share that with all of you, and that whatever that you decide to do in 2022, that it's meaningful to you, that it creates fulfillment, and you're able to align that with your gifts, and also to ensure that your home life is secure. Oftentimes people, I used to watch I guess people that I thought were successful, and watch how they would carry themselves. And I noticed that, sometimes they would disregard their home life, and I'd be like, man, that doesn't make no sense. So it's a decision we have to make, that if you want to be happy out there, whatever it is that you're doing, wouldn't it make sense that you make your home life, whatever it is, whoever, if you have children, if you have a spouse, if you have family members, wouldn't it make sense to make that life, that the relationships as strong as possible so that you could be happier out there? Wouldn't that make sense? It's kind of like, you can tell when someone is going through something. They walk in a room, you can feel if they're in a bad mood or not, but you can also feel if they're in a good mood. How is the home life? Right? The home life should be stable so that when you come and give yourself to the world, whatever it is that you're doing, your service, your jobs, or whatever, that you're feeling good about that. So that when people see you, they meet you, they feel good about themselves. They know you're approachable. They know that you can work with them, and so on. And so I wanted to just come online and to share with those today, is that as you reflect into the past year, you look into 2022 with more optimism, helping one another, working on that home life of yourself, your family, keeping them close, and also aligning whatever it is that you're meant to do with a chosen field, whatever that means for you. So I hope this has been meaningful, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care. Muy estás. We'll talk to you again soon. See ya.